Jackson woke up to the gentle buzz of his morning thought-fertisement. Rise and shine. Start your day right with shaboinky juice. Half the calories, twice the shaboink. He blinked a few times, letting the words settle in, and then rolled out of bed. In the cramped apartment, space was a premium, and the morning rush for the bathroom was like clockwork. His 8 roommates were already jostling for position, each trying to claim a few extra seconds in front of the cracked mirror. He glanced at the wall where a corporate logo was emblazoned just above the door. Zillow, of course. They owned every inch of living space now, so sharing a small apartment with 8 other people was just part of life. Jackson squeezed past a roommate brushing his teeth and headed to the kitchen. The drone arrived right on schedule, dropping his morning ration onto the counter. The packet of Nutriloaf hit with a thud, its familiar gray packaging a reminder that taste was an unnecessary luxury. He tore it open and bit into the block. It was as bland as ever, but it got the job done. Nutriloaf, 100% processed, 0% flavor. Jackson finished breakfast and checked the time. His shift as a biomatter donor started in 10 minutes. He grabbed his coat and headed out, weaving through the narrow hallways until he reached the donation center. The building was a spotless white, like everything else these days, with attendants who smiled just a little too wide. He signed in, sat down, and let the machines do their work. While his biomatter was siphoned off, he tuned into his favorite live stream. Today, the host, Dystopian Dan, was siphoning memories from a duplicate. "Let's see what we've got here," Dan said, his tone cheerful. The stream flickered as he accessed the memories. "Ah, childhood trauma, classic," Jackson smirked. It wasn't much, but it was something to pass the time. A soft chime announced a new arrival, and Jackson looked up to see Mimi Moneybags, the world-famous Lonely Hand model. She was here on a Make-A-Wish visit, something about a 36-year-old man dying of diabetes. Jackson watched as she smiled for the cameras, her perfectly sculpted features catching the light just right. She was everything the ads promised, flawless, unattainable, and entirely out of reach. "Can I use my last memory unit on you?" the man asked, his voice hopeful. "Of course," Mimi replied with a dazzling smile. Jackson watched the exchange with mild interest. "She made 15,000 gallons of water a year," he recalled from a commercial. "Selling yourself figuratively paid much better than literally." After his shift, Jackson returned to his apartment, feeling the usual post-donation fatigue. His girlfriend was waiting for him, or rather, she was standing there, arms crossed, her expression blank. "Jackson," she started. "I can't keep doing this if you don't upgrade to premium." He sighed. He'd expected this. The girlfriend subscription model wasn't exactly forgiving. "I'm already donating as much as I can," he replied. "Then siphon from your duplicate," she suggested, her tone indifferent. "Or maybe you should consider live streaming. You could move into Zillowville, maybe even afford a premium girlfriend." She left shortly after, unsubscribing from their relationship with a click. Jackson shrugged. It was bound to happen sooner or later. He considered her suggestion. Live streaming paid better, and if he moved into Zillowville, he'd only need 3 roommates instead of 8. It was something to think about. Later that night, Jackson lay in bed, used his sleep premium subscription to block out the dream ads. He was about to drift off when the sound of an ad interrupted his thoughts. Raid Shadow? He had forgotten. There was now a Premium Plus to avoid the premium ads.